life possible.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
All right, 20 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. If you have one of those weather radios and you've hit the button so that you could hear what the weather was like during times when a storm looked pretty threatening, pretty ominous, and the clouds are pretty dark, you might have heard the computer voice on your little radio saying something to the effect of spotter activation not required at this time. And I'm sure that they are activated sometimes, but my question has always been, what the heck is a spotter? Who are the spotters, and what are they spotting, and how do they interact with the Weather Service? And there are so many questions I've always had just from that one sentence that says spotter activation not required at this time. It's always been something I've been intrigued by. Well, it turns out that there's a class for this tomorrow. It turns out it's free. It's right here in Ocala. I think it's from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. We're going to find out now the details about this class. Ben Nelson is on the phone. He is a meteorologist with the National Weather Service, the state of Florida meteorologist for NOAA, which is the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and he is an instructor for the Skywarn Storm Spotter classes. So if you've ever wanted to be one of those people who is activated when there's a storm coming around, I imagine you play an integral role in the information that is then distributed to the rest of us who have those little radios, including us here in this kind of radio world. Ben Nelson, good morning, Ben.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Where are you right now?
I'm up in my house in St. Augustine. Of course, as you mentioned, I work at the National Weather Service in Jacksonville, and we cover you guys there in big, beautiful Marion County.
So what is a spotter?
Well, a spotter is really an integral part in the severe weather warning process. Our Skywarn spotters help us identify and describe the characteristics of the storms that are going through Marion County. In particular, we're looking for damage reports, especially down trees, power lines, estimates of winds, hail size. Obviously, if you see a funnel cloud or a tornado, those are the type of things that we really need eyes and ears on the ground to confirm what we're seeing on our Doppler radar. Marion County is kind of it's especially important in Marion County because Marion County is in kind of a spot where they're in between about 3 Doppler radars. We have a Doppler radar in Jacksonville, there's a Doppler radar in Tampa and Melbourne, and unfortunately the coverage in Marion County is such that we really don't see the radar returns below about 2,000 or 3,000 feet in the atmosphere. That's just because of the way that the radar beam falls between those 3 radars. So really we're kind of missing with the radar some of those lower level features, and of course, as you all know, funnel clouds and tornadoes are lower level features. So obviously, we need people to volunteer to take this course to learn about some of the cloud features that are associated with severe weather, and to really provide us with reports of what they're seeing on the ground whenever we issue a severe thunderstorm or tornado warning from our office. Okay,
and how do the spotters know that their services are being requested?
Well, again, we issue every day, and we update a couple times a day what's called a hazardous weather outlook. If we do anticipate severe weather, we will put on that hazardous weather outlook that we would wish for spotters to become activated. But any time that we have a severe weather warning, and even just something as mundane as a significant weather advisory, which is just can be issued for, let's say, winds of 40 to 55 miles per hour, which is sub-severe. Anytime anybody sees damage, and you're a trained spotter, we want them to report that to the National Weather Service, because, again, that helps us verify what we're seeing on our radar in terms of signatures of strong winds, signatures of hail, and of course of tornadoes as well.
Oh, wow. We need to take a little break, but I definitely want to keep on with this topic. I know that our listeners have been anxious to hear what you have to say about this. I think a lot of people are intrigued by this. I'm hoping that a lot of our listeners respond and show up tomorrow for the classes that you're giving. And just real quickly, before we go to the break, let me just reintroduce our guest, and then we'll come back. Ben Nelson is on the phone. He's a meteorologist with the National Weather Service. He'll be tomorrow teaching one of the classes here in Ocala so that you could become a Skywarn storm spotter. The classes are tomorrow at the Marion County, where is it? At the McPherson Complex, right?
Yes.
July 19th, tomorrow from 9 a.m. till 11. We'll be right back.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my
too.
seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new
Yep,
trunk.
we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today. Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 1/15/14.
How good does it get?
Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the Links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
All right, thank you for waiting through the break. 12 minutes now before 11 o'clock. Ben Nelson is on the phone with us over in St. Augustine, one of my favorite Florida towns. And tomorrow he'll be in Ocala. And I made a mistake before the break. The Skywarn Storm Spotter classes are not, or class rather, singular, is not at McPherson. It's at the Marion County Emergency Operations Center, which Robin said is at the Sheriff's Office, right?
Right.
Complex.
892 Northwest 30th Avenue.
Okay.
And to add to that, guys, there'll be another class at 1 p.m. as well, 1 to 3 p.m.
Oh, you have two classes.
1 to 3.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 classes.
Now, who typically shows up? I mean, are you seeing retired people? Are you seeing students? Who normally shows up for these things?
Yeah, there's a wide variety of people who show up, really all ages. We get younger people who are interested, and we also have, the retiree community. I'm expecting a pretty wide range tomorrow, especially since it's the weekend. But you'd be amazed at the number of people who are very interested in the weather, and we really need that. We need these eyes and ears on the ground to help us out with our warning verification up here in Jacksonville.
And how many spotters do we have right now in Marion County, or is that an unfair question?
Yeah, it's in the hundreds. You guys certainly have a lot of very interested people, and we have a good cadre. But the problem is that there's a very transient population in Florida to begin with. So we lose spotters. On an annual basis, people move out of town and move on, and we're always looking for new people to come in and increase our numbers. Nationwide, there's about 300,000 people who have gone through this class and who are certified weather spotters.
And do you need special equipment once you become a spotter? Do you have to have certain kind of radios?
No. All you have to do is, again, once you're trained in these basics of thunderstorm development, the fundamentals of storm structure, and we'll tell you tomorrow at this class how to report information to us at the National Weather Service. So basically, all you need is a phone and a good set of working eyes.
And you have a phone call, Ben. Again, Ben Nelson is our guest, a meteorologist with the National Weather Service. Tomorrow he'll be in Ocala giving 2 classes, it sounds like, over at the Marion County Emergency Operations Center. If you want to be a spotter, one of those people that gets activated in a storm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That does sound cool. I guess I'm a geek at heart, huh? Let's find out what our listeners have to say. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Ben Nelson.
Good morning, all. I just wanted to know, is there an age limit? I have a 13-year-old son that would be very interested.
I bet a 13. I would, man. Yeah. Can you ever be too young, Ben?
No, there's no age limit at all. In fact, most meteorologists who are in the National Weather Service who have a meteorology degree got hooked at a very young age, and that includes me. My hook, if you will, was Hurricane Hugo back in 1989 that hit the Carolinas. I grew up in Virginia. So I was hooked on the Weather Channel and all that stuff. So no, we encourage that, any age will be great. We love getting people hooked on weather at a young age.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call, and thank you for the question. I'm guessing there were other people who wanted to know that as well. I'm a weather geek too. I don't know what we did without the weather before the Weather Channel. Mm-hmm. I don't know what we did. We had to wait for 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock whenever the news came on.
Yeah,
right?
you had to wait. We had to wait for the evening news. Yeah, that news cycle was always. I remember always waiting for our meteorologists up in Richmond, Virginia, to come on the air at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon on the radio, because I was always interested, especially in the winter, if we would have a potential for a snow day anytime.
Right, I remember that too.
Day, so,
Operation Snowflake he used to have. Yeah. Good morning. You're on the air with Ben Nelson.
Good morning, everyone. Can you tell me the physical address?
The physical address I have is 692 Northwest 30th Avenue.
Okay.
And that's at the sheriff's office, right?
Yes.
Sheriff's complex?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I need to know. Thanks. You all have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, thank you. And do they need to look for a specific building? That's a large area. What, do you just go to the main front office there?
I believe it's going to be at the Emergency Operations Center building, yes.
Okay, that would make sense. That's where, yeah. And in fact, we've reported there ourselves. Do you know this station is the emergency alerts? I'm not even sure what to call it, but we have a deal somehow with the city or with the county where we have generators.
Yes.
Provided by the county or the city. Mm-hmm. And forgive me for not knowing the county.
Yeah. That
keep us on the air in case there's an extra. So in other words, we were an emergency station. I don't know how many of us there are. Yeah. I think we're the only one, actually.
Hopefully, you guys never have to put those generators to use.
Well, we did. You know what happened? And I know this is 10 years ago already, but we had a series of storms. You might remember them in 2004. One of them was a hurricane. What was one? Francis.
Yes.
The reason I remember it because the kids in Key West. The kids in Key West had this funny. They would go on pantsless for Francis. They were running out their pants on. Do you remember that, Ben, by chance?
Absolutely. I remember all those storms: Charlie, Francis, Ivan, Gene. And then the next year we had Dennis, Katrina, Rita, Wilma. Yeah.
Okay, so here's
hurricanes 2 years.
Here, let me tell you my big disappointment, just so you know. My name is Larry. Finally, there was a Hurricane Larry. I said, please don't wimp out. I don't want a wimpy hurricane yet. Now, I don't want anybody being hurt. Just be a powerful one that everybody's afraid of, but then just moves away. I didn't. My Larry Hurricane was really wimpy.
Well, the good news is that your name comes back around every 6 years. So every 6 years, you've got a chance.
Oh, really?
At glory, yes. And then, of course, if your storm really is, something to be reckoned with, they'll retire that name, and then you'll be in infamy.
Infamy is right. Infamy is right.
Larry's going to come back around again. No doubt about it.
That's what I've always said. Good morning. You're on the air with Ben Nelson. Thank you for calling.
Yes, good morning. I'm very proud of the fact that my name is Hugh, and Hugo was retired because it was really a bad one.
Isn't that funny?
A little quick question. Now, I noticed this. I think it's this last winter now. They started to name snowstorms. What is the reasoning behind that? What you say?
Yeah.
Well, that's something that the Weather Channel took upon themselves. The National Weather Service, and again, the Weather Channel is weather.com. I work for the National Weather Service. We're weather.gov. So the National Weather Service does not name winter storms. That's purely something that the Weather Channel wanted to do, and that's a ratings ploy. That's something to get.
Oh, really?
People hooked onto the name now. And that's again something that the Weather Service doesn't necessarily endorse. We don't reference their names in our products or anything like that. So that's purely a weather decision to do that. But it's caught on because the Weather Channel has such a large viewership.
The another word that we heard for the first time was polar vortex. Now maybe you've heard it because you're a meteorologist, but that was something new for the public. And then wasn't there another one like last week or something?
Yeah.
They start. That's another catchphrase. I would say. This winter. Yeah, and then we had a strong cold front move through the country. This week, and that polar vortex catchphrase popped back up. So I think that's
that was
media.
Oh,
yeah, I would say that's media creation.
All right, so I'm going to weather.gov from now on.
There you go.
Is the National Weather Service responsible for the different zones that are named in the state of Florida?
When you say the different zones, I'm trying to.
Yeah, because when we have weather alerts and things, Ocala Marion County is Zone 7.
Yeah, we assign numbers. It's kind of county based for the most part, but yes, that zone number is provided by us. Yes, it really doesn't mean too much. Yeah.
It doesn't mean too much, but it does come up now and then. Somebody will call, for example, and say, "Hey, can you tell me what weather zone I'm in?" And I can't find it anywhere online. I find like agricultural zones are different than weather zones.
Yeah.
So does weather.gov have that stuff?
If you go to weather.gov, you get a big map of the country, and and it's interactive. So if you click on Florida and then click on Marion County, eventually you'll get down to where you can view a text product, and that zone number will appear on the text product. But I got to tell you, that's kind of an archaic type of thing. We're kind of moving out of the text era and into the graphical era. So that's why, don't really reference those zone numbers anymore.
But let me just tell you, from my perspective as a guy who, when weather comes in, I'm not a meteorologist and I never pretend to be even on radio. But what I do is I use the websites and I basically just repeat what I'm seeing online, and which is not the way it was once upon a time. Once upon a time, I used to have to go to the AP Wire.
Yeah.
I used to have to know what zone I was in, and I used to have to just simply read it.
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to say? Oh, what I was going to say is I just went to weather.gov, and it's less cluttered than weather.com. I love weather.com.
Wow,
but I mean, weather.com has lots of commercials. By the way, the Spanish Weather Channel has the best weather girls. I'm just saying.
They're the draw.
All right, so tomorrow you're coming to Ocala.
Coming to Ocala bright and early. We'll be at the Marion County Emergency Operations Center beginning at 9 a.m. for class number 1, and class number 2 begins at 1 p.m. And they're going to run a couple hours in length. We'll have plenty of breaks in there, and we'll also give away a weather radio at each.
Oh, cool! Well. Does a spotter have to pass a test? Like, could you fail? Could you say, "Oh man, I'm not a spotter"?
This isn't going to be a pass-fail type of thing, but if you want to win that weather radio, you have to pay attention because there are some questions there, trivia-type questions at the end of the presentation.
I have a feeling that all of you in your field are instinctively smart, intrinsically, whatever the word is, and I'm guessing that the folks who show up at these things are just the bright kids, the bright people. And I don't know, it just seems to me that it would be the smart people who pay attention to this kind of thing and are interested in it. Well, you're a great guest. I was looking forward to meeting you, but I guess I have to settle for being on the phone with you. I can meet you tomorrow, though. I can go to one of these classes. And you said there are two of them, one at 9 to 11, and the other one is 1 to 3?
That's correct.
All
and
right.
they're free. No charge for the
And
classes.
they are absolutely free. Yeah, and we appreciate everybody who shows up, and hopefully we'll make Marion County a little bit more weather ready tomorrow. So we'll educate people. There's a lot of, when we get severe weather, there's a lot of things that look like tornadoes, cloud-wise, that aren't necessarily tornadoes. That's one of the things we're going to talk about tomorrow.
Wow.
Tornado lookalikes.
Ben, be careful driving over here. Thank you for all you do for all of us, and thank you for being on the radio with us today.
Oh, thank you for having us. It was nice talking to you all.
And good information. We will continue to mention the information we just talked about, by the way, as we go through the morning. We'll take a little break, and we'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Conflicting reports over whether the black boxes for Malaysia Air Flight 17 have been found. Also, disagreement over responsibility for the crash. Russian authorities